Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fandom Family Chats. I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Amanda.
And this is a special episode because both our NBC shows and our ABC shows happen to be on a break. So me and Amanda decided this is one that we had been dying to record and talk about. So we jumped on the chance. We're just gonna cover some Netflix reality shows, mostly Perfect Match and the new season of Love is Blind, but there's gonna be others sprinkled in. There's gonna be The Circle. There's gonna be Too Hot to Handle. Who knows what we're gonna get off into? You know how
we're gonna veer off into different shows.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if they're not even if we get off on non-Netflix shows.
They may not even be Netflix shows. But mostly it's gonna be The Perfect Match and Love is Blind. So this is what we're gonna do.
And The Circle. Circle's a Netflix show too. And
yeah.
I've been pretty immersed in it lately, so it's gonna keep coming to my brain.
I have to. But so first, let's discuss The Perfect Match because that was a wild ride that I loved every second of.
I loved it, and actually, I had been watching Love is Blind since it began, but before that, I'm not a huge reality TV person.
Well, I am, but only when it comes to dating shows. This is perfect.
See, I never got into The Bachelor, Bachelorette.
Yeah.
I was never really into that kind of stuff until I found Love is Blind, and I was like, okay, this is pretty addicting. Yep. So when Perfect Match was announced and I started seeing faces I knew, and I was like, wait, that's what grabbed my attention is I saw my Love is Blind people in the promos for it. And I was like, whoa, hold up.
I had also watched all of the Too Hot to Handles. That was one that I found randomly one weekend. Kids were gone. Me and David actually found Too Hot to Handle, and that shows a train wreck, and it's amazing. So we binged all those, and so between that, now The Circle, where we have a lot of the cast members from, that was one I'd never seen until this.
Yeah,
and then of course,
I had started watching The Circle season 1.
I never had.
But I didn't finish it. I have now, but I didn't finish it before then. So after Perfect Match, I did the same thing as you. I kind of got off into The Circle, and I finished season 1 because I was only maybe 5 episodes shy of being done with it.
Yeah.
So I finished season 1, and then I went to go, what do we watch?
We went together? To 3 because we wanted to watch Nick's.
That's it.
Because we were loving Nick. Yeah.
So I watched all of 3, which was phenomenal. I love it.
It's my favorite one, definitely. Yeah.
Nick is our guy. And then I just finished watching season 5. And now I'm in the middle of season 4.
Yeah. The 2 is the only one I haven't watched 1 and 2 yet, because I watched 3 and then I started 4, but then it didn't grab me and I jumped onto 5.
Yeah.
But that was because we'll talk more about him later, but Brett, because you don't watch other reality shows. I'm a huge Big Brother fan, or was for a long time. And Brett, of course, being from Big Brother, I was like, hold on, I know him. This is great. And so
I also Sasha or Shu. I knew him.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know him.
The only bad thing was I liked him in 1. I did not like him portraying Sasha.
Yeah.
He annoyed me so much, and that sucked because I like Shu.
Well, the thing is, cool. Not everyone can portray a catfish on that show well.
Yeah.
And I think this is why I liked 3 the best of the ones I've seen so far, because the people that were the catfishes did such a good job that I have a hard time even thinking about them as their real selves.
Yep.
And I mean, Nick included. Let's talk about Nick, because we're going to talk about these girls from The Perfect Match. Nick included on there when he was Vince, even though it was only a few episodes. I mean, it was so good that I don't know. So it takes a special person to play one of these catfishes. But Nick was by far my favorite guy on this series, even if the other girls didn't see it. I'm not really sure why they didn't see it, but he was definitely not lucky in love. But no. I mean, I don't know.
I think he was too good for those girls.
Maybe that's what it is, honestly. And I'd have to admit he did. I don't know if he just has bad taste in women, or what,
Oh
because
my
I feel like
gosh.
a couple times he wanted to pick the wrong ones by far. Like him going after Francesca to start with. Francesca, I mean, she's beautiful, but I have no idea why she was the person that everybody wanted to be with.
Because she
Because she's
is
beautiful.
beautiful, and how can I put this
She spent a lot of
kindly?
money on Too Hot to Handle. Is that what you're wanting to say?
No, but I think she's just easy's the wrong word.
That's, yeah. I mean,
I think they thought that she would be easier than she
yeah,
was. I
she
mean,
wasn't
bravo
though.
to her that she
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
I loved that little turn of events. But
Mhm,
I really feel like guys were like, they look at her and like,
mhm.
I think that would be an easy one. No,
Yeah, yeah,
not how it works.
yeah. I don't get it. I mean,
I
but
like
it's okay.
Francesca.
Look, I love her as our villain. I don't
Yes.
love her as I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was far too good for Dom, because you didn't watch The Mole, so you didn't know Dom at all, did you? But The Mole is really good. Like if you ever want to go back and watch it sometime, it's only got one season, but season 2 is happening. So it's really like you have to figure out, like, I don't know. Did you ever watch long? This shows how old I am. I remember the show The Mole on ABC that was hosted by Anderson Cooper, like forever ago. Okay, yeah, I
Nope.
know.
Nope.
Okay, but it's like this whole, like, one person's trying to sabotage all their missions,
Yeah.
but like no one knows who it is, and so you have to vote for who you think the mole is. The person that gets the most answers wrong every episode gets voted out, because clearly they. And so
Okay.
it's really a fun show. And Dom was great on there. He got really screwed, to be honest. So
I see. I was never attracted to Dom. I was never
um
like, I don't know.
yeah,
And
no,
I
I could
like Dom.
yeah,
I like him as a person.
yeah.
He was just one of the ones that I wasn't attracted to.
Well, he's too nice, unfortunately. I think he's another. I think he was too good for the show. Like I think he like was really there looking for love. I'm not
Yeah.
sure that really anyone else was there looking for love. Dom would be perfect on Love Is Blind, because I think he would be,
Mm-hmm.
one of those that would actually be there for all the right reasons and everything.
Yeah.
Um I tell you, like, Joey is one that had me confused though, because
Okay. Can we sit here and talk about Joey
let's do it.
and oh my gosh,
Carousel.
her name.
Carousel.
Carousel. Why did I
Yeah,
not even Oh, it's right here.
I got you.
Carousel and Joey. I have never been so disappointed from the outcome of a show than I was to learn after I finish it that they're not together anymore.
He had me fooled. He had me fooled.
I'm so mad. It made me so
And the thing
mad.
is, I still think they are actually perfect for each other.
I do too. That's why
So I'm
mad.
not sure what the issue is, but when I want you to know, when he proposed, because you weren't called up to me yet. I sent you that message and I was like, I mean, it was one of those like,
Mhm.
I mean, I did that, like actually watching a show, because I was like, no, he's not actually. And then I was so happy,
I
so
know.
happy. And then they still didn't win. So
And
I
I
don't,
was actually fine with them not
I mean,
winning.
once I found out that they broke up and he probably did that just to win, I was glad they didn't win. you know?
Yeah, and it's just he did. They both had me so fooled, mainly him,
Mhm.
but I just
Yeah, because I think she meant everything that she was doing on the show. I
I did
really do.
too. I did too.
Mhm.
And I purposely didn't look anything up while I
Yeah,
was
I
watching.
didn't either.
I wanted to a lot of times on these shows I will
Mhm.
look stuff up when it's available. But
The
I
only
didn't, and
one,
I was so disappointed.
yeah, I didn't either. I mean, I found out about George. I knew something was going to have to happen with Georgia and Dom, because where I already watched Too Hot to Handle, I already followed both Georgia and Harry Jousey. So I had already
Mhm.
seen that they were together, and I was very confused on
Fun.
when Georgia and Dom won this thing,
Yeah.
which
Which is total BS, by the way. The winner was totally
total.
BS. It should it have been Joey and Carousel? Yes.
Yes. At the very
But
least, it should have been Chloe and Shane.
that one I'm still not over this either. Like the
No, we're all
perfect match.
Mhm.
Like I've always, like I said at the very beginning of this, I started off with Love is Blind, and
Mhm.
I thought that would be my favorite one. Perfect Match has definitely topped Love is
Because it's
Blind
so
to me.
messy and
It's,
fun.
but it is.
Yeah.
And I also like that we usually know a lot of them
It's like an
already. So
all-stars version of this. Yeah. So
yeah,
it makes it
we,
nice. Yeah.
we kind of already know them. And it
Mhm.
just makes it an easier flow and newer stuff to come. So we're not just playing get to know you the entire time.
Yeah.
But Shane and Chloe should have been together.
They should be together right now, in
No,
my
I know, that's
opinion.
what I mean. Like they should have won, and they should still be together right now,
I
even
still have
though
hopes for them. I think
I
one
don't
day they're
know.
going to find their way back to each other. I don't know. I'm just
Shane's not
so
doing good in my opinion right
look,
now.
Shane, I worry about him. Here's the deal.
His mama just
I know,
passed,
and
and I think he's spiraling.
I know, and I hate, and I hate. I don't want to talk too much about it because I hate the way everybody's speculating on what's going on with him. Like, obviously there's something, but we don't know what. But
I
I
think he's
was
just
ashamed.
grieving hard.
Yeah, and he might be doing something to help himself with the grief, and that's terrible. And I hope that he can, figure it out. Because I was a Shane fan probably before we were supposed to be a Shane fan. Like I think Perfect Match, we were supposed to be a fan of his. I'm not sure in Love and Blind if we were supposed to, but
Oh,
I
I
was.
was.
Like I was always, I thought, is he odd? Yep. Is he
Yes.
quirky? Yes. Is he lovable and has a great heart? Absolutely. So like Natalie was totally wrong for him.
Yes, I could not
Uh,
stand Natalie.
no,
I
no.
could not, like her even just by herself. I didn't
Mhm.
like Natalie. And then I didn't like Natalie and Shane. They did
Yeah,
not,
didn't work.
they didn't work. One, well, we know they didn't work on long term, but
Yeah.
even during the show, I
I didn't understand it.
honestly always forget her name. And that's so like I know Shane,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm always like, and who did he try to marry?
Well,
That's
honestly,
just
as much as I didn't love Shayna on that, I know we're all like, she was still a better suited match for
Mhm.
Shane, in my opinion.
She
Um,
was.
you know, but I mean, I'll say this again, just like Joey and Carousel, Chloe and Shane are each other's perfect match. You
Yes.
cannot convince me otherwise.
No. I don't know how much acting is done, but if what we saw on the perfect match is even 50% true,
Mm-hmm.
they need to be together.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
that's my final thought
Yeah.
when it comes to Shane. Shane needs to be with Chloe. Chloe needs to be with Shane, and you're not going to be able to change my mind.
No, I remember even after like everybody was saying no, they broke up, they broke up. I kept hunting down her videos and TikTok, hoping no, she's tricking us. Like they're gonna say they're together. I truly believed if any
I
of
did
these
too.
couples survived, it was them.
I don't think I was ever more mad at a reality TV person than I was when she dumped Shane
For
and
Mitchell.
got back with Mitchell.
Who's gross. Is he pretty? Of course he's pretty. We all look at him. But no, he's a terrible. I don't know. I didn't like him, not even a little bit. Not even a little
Oh,
bit.
I didn't from the very beginning. And then when
Mm-mm.
she dumped Shane for him, I turned my TV off. First of all, I was like, I'm done with this for today.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
And then them,
When they reunited and she ran and jumped on him there on the beach I mean, I felt like my
gosh,
heart like did a flip.
I was like,
I was so
yes.
happy. I mean, I think I was like that. I felt like that was me reuniting with the long lost love. I mean, I was so excited. And then they didn't make it. I was really sad. I'm still sad. And I watched this months ago.
So disappointing. Do we have any still together from Perfect Match?
No, this
We
is
don't, right?
complete failure.
Okay.
Complete failure.
That's okay. It's okay. It's first season. They have to work out
Yes.
some things.
Yes. Yes. I will admit too that I was a little shocked, even though like going back to Nick just a little bit, because him and LC somehow made it to the finals. I was a little shocked because I thought, you know what? Of all the people here,
Mm-hmm.
LC might be one that would actually work with Nick.
I thought the same thing because I like LC.
I mean, we'll talk look, Amber and Barnett, I'm a fan through and through now. But when I watched Love is Blind season 1,
Yeah.
I was extremely upset with Barnett for choosing Amber over LC because I thought
I
that was
think
the
we all
wrong
were.
choice.
I think we
I
all
loved
were.
her.
Yeah. But then we
And
still
then
have Barnett and Amber who are still together to this freaking day. So what do we know?
exactly. What do we know? Because they are perfect for each other. So that's fine. But when we saw LC at first, I was like, why is she here? Like, that's been years ago. But then when I saw her and I was like, you know what, with Nick, this might work.
Mm-hmm.
And then it still didn't.
Oh no.
It was a disaster.
I think we'll have Perfect Match season 2 starring Nick.
Can he come back? Can we bring him back again? I think he's single because
Really
I followed him.
interested to
I
see
watched,
if they will bring any of them back.
I think there's a couple that deserve like a second chance, like that didn't, because I feel like no one. I'll die on this hill too. Okay, him and Savannah should have gave it a real shot, and I think he was willing to. I do not think she was at
I
all.
don't know.
Because
I liked Savannah at the beginning, but I did not like her
well, that's what
towards the end.
I don't know. I think that they both, because of we just saw the way they're thinking, they're both so strategic. That's how they wanted to play at first.
Yeah.
I think they could have worked. And my favorite episode was the whole kissing challenge thing.
Oh my gosh, wasn't that
got
the one
all of his nines, which I was like, I knew it. I knew, because he just seems like that kind of guy that like knows like what he's a sleeper over here. When I kind of figured, look, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna explain to everyone. I am obsessed with him.
Yes.
And it only has like maybe 60% to do with the fact that he looks like Daniel Gillies. But I mean, he does. And then, but he's so funny. I'm like, I don't get it. He's charming. He's super smart. He's like an engineer, right?
Yeah.
He's funny. Like, what is there not to like? He's got a cute dog.
There has to be something, right? There has to be something we're not seeing. That's what
He's
I keep telling myself.
He's probably a commitment phobe and probably doesn't treat women well. Watch,
I'm sure it's gonna be something like that. But you know what? We can just put our blinders up and
maybe. Here's the thing.
We're both very happily married women, so it's okay.
And I'm like 10 years older than him. So like it's not gonna, I'm not
he
like
won't
actually,
date anybody over 33. He already said it.
He did, and I'm way over 33. So
I'm not.
I'm gonna tell Ben you said that. There we go,
No.
right? You're actually he's no longer in Texas though. He moved to California, so you're out of luck.
Oh man.
He left you.
Man.
His family is still in Louisville, so he could come back to Kentucky at some point. You never know.
At least he passes through and just sit at the state line.
I'll go to the Derby and just hope that he shows up one year. No, kidding, obviously. There were so many like, okay, so no one wanted him, but everybody wanted Bartise. Explain that one to me.
Can anybody explain to me what they see in Bartise?
He's not I'm not saying he's ugly, because he's not ugly, but he's not like somebody who you stop and stare at when they're walking down the street, in my opinion.
You know what? He actually was very attractive to me. But now every time I look at him, I go, ugh. Like, I guess I don't even see his attraction anymore. I just look at him and I'm like, ew.
In their defense, they filmed this before his season aired. So I can understand that a little bit, I guess. But even still, as soon as the man opens his mouth, guys, like, do you not realize that he's kind of a jerk?
He just had a baby too.
Well, good luck to that baby mama, is all I'm saying. Good luck to her.
We totally have to admit that we were looking to see when he filmed The Perfect Match.
Oh, he literally knocked her up like when he got back. When he got off the plane, he met her like that night, and I mean, it happened quick.
Like, it was a little too close. And I was like, wait, who had a baby? Like, and I was like doing the math, and I'm like,
because it's not like it's a
mommy. Is she on The Perfect Match too?
Exactly. Like, how are they doing? Like, let's check Izzy. Is she good?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I liked Izzy actually too.
Look, Izzy was one of my favorites on Too Hot to Handle. So I was excited when I saw her. You haven't watched all of those, have you?
No.
That is your next shameless like binge, because it's ridiculous.
I have started it.
I think she was on season 3.
I started Francesca's season, and I think that was 1.
Georgia,
did I start with 1?
Yeah. Yeah. Francesca and Chloe both are on one.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching
Yeah.
that one.
I think season 3 is where we get Georgia and Izzy.
Okay.
That's a good, yeah. But
That
I
makes
liked Izzy too. Izzy was another one that I thought for sure like Nick was going to end up with because they had really great chemistry together.
They
And then
did.
it's like
I swear, Perfect Match is one of the very first reality shows that I was like screaming into the screen
Mhm.
of
He
like,
must
you're
not be able
such
to
an idiot.
close. You know what I mean? Like he must be a really terrible closer because I feel like looks wise he looks good, but then I don't know. Maybe his flirt game is just really terrible. I don't know.
I don't know. I need answers though. There has to be something. And I'd like, actually, you know what? I don't want to know. I
Right.
don't want to know.
No, let's not ruin it for him. I'm good because
there's not a world that I would ever be with him in real life. So let's just
no,
not say anything bad about him.
no,
Let's just
you
have
won't.
our fantasies.
I know you won't be able to convince me that there's something wrong with him. I'm just not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Nope.
Not going to do it. So, okay, we're talking too hot to handle, right? Like the contestants that were from that. I don't know if anyone will agree with me. I might get hate on this, but I like Chase. Not like I want to date Chase. I don't. But as a villain, Chase cracks me up.
Okay, yes.
And the thing is, like, we needed like somebody because like Francesca was our villain, but like in a mean, snotty way. Like Chase was our villain, and like he like just said random stuff to piss people off
He
and made
did.
me laugh all the time. When he said that Carousel chipped his tooth and she did not
Oh
during that like
my
kissing
God.
challenge, I died. The thing is,
I like when he admitted it.
I liked Chase on his like season of Too Hot to Handle. You haven't seen it yet. He was also still kind of villainous or whatever, but on Too Hot to Handle, they're all villains. This is just what they are because they're all just sex crazed, like 20 somethings who can't keep their hands off each other. That's like what it's supposed to be. And so it's funny. But I don't care that I like Chase. Chase called it in that finale when he said that Georgia and Dom, there was no way that was actually going to work. And
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Now, do I love Chase? No, I don't.
No, I would run the other way if I saw him in a bar. Not because he's unattractive, because I actually think like he's not unattractive.
He's hot.
He's hot. He's tall. I love it. But he's definitely got F-boy energy majorly.
Majorly.
Like, majorly. And he knows it. He doesn't care.
And can we mention The Rock? Because that was one of my favorite scenes.
But it was a pebble, if we're being honest, right?
Okay.
Look, here, I honestly, though, of all the things Chase did, I actually think he was trying to be genuine with that moment. It was just a major fail. Because I don't think I honestly think he was like trying to do something nice in that one moment. I think it was the one nice thing he was trying to do. But I mean, obviously it was a pebble. He gave her a pebble.
He gave her
for what?
A rock. He gave her a rock. Let's just call a spade a spade.
I know.
He gave the woman a rock.
And I can't even remember what he said with it, but he tried his best to like make this big speech and make it very lovely. And
he sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher is what he sounded like after I saw The Rock.
I know.
I don't know what he said.
And it still didn't work. She didn't pick him. Right? That was the one where she didn't. She moved on, didn't she? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Smart girl.
Yeah.
No, there will never be this. Chase needs to be by himself.
Oh, yeah. It would take the right person to come in and be able to tame Chase. You know what, though? Bartice just had a baby and maybe living happily ever after. So I say nothing is impossible here. Because I would take Chase over Bartice in a heartbeat, if I'm being honest. I hate Bartice. And I'm sorry if not that he's ever going to watch our show, but if for some chance he ever does, I'm sorry that I feel that way, but I do.
Oh, I'm the same way. Bartice is probably just a little bit above the hate spectrum than Chase.
Well, it's because like he doesn't own any of it. Chase owns it. He knows he's a jerk. He knows he's being a villain. Like Bartice, like in that speech that he had with Abby, who I think is a lovely, I've never seen 20 somethings. I knew nothing about her. I think she's beautiful and so sweet. And I loved her so much. I hate that she got saddled with Francesca and then Bartice. Like girl.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you don't know how to pick them,
she
at
the
all.
worst line of
Awful.
people from
Yes.
yeah. Oh gosh, this
Terrible.
poor girl.
But he was awful to her and just, I mean, so like gaslighting and just making her feel like her feelings were so invalid in that moment. And that,
Yeah.
I mean, I already hated him, but that like, I was like, are you serious? Like, this is after you filmed Love is Blind. Like, even though no one's seen it yet, you know how that all went down and you've learned nothing from it.
It's all it's what he comes off as is that it's all a joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a joke. He's doing it just to be on the camera, just to get fame. Most of them are, yes.
Yeah.
Most of them are also playing the game right and taking it somewhat seriously. It's not supposed to
Yeah.
be.
They're not
serious,
willing
but
to like, I think other people aren't willing to like hurt other people to get there though. You know what I
he'll
mean? Like
just
he
walk
doesn't
all over
care
your
at
back. He
all.
didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he would push his mom down to get her across the river. Like,
He might.
I do not like him.
Yeah. I mean, let's hope that this child, I mean, sometimes being a parent can help you find yourself and can improve you. Let's hope that that happens for him. I wish
hope
him for the
so.
child's sake, I hope that he becomes a better person than he is right now.
Oh yeah. There's nothing that I like better than what's the phrase I'm trying to think of right now? Not like the
Redemption
Cinderella
arc.
story. A redemption arc.
I love
Yes.
it. Yeah, I love
If
it.
he comes back and he does prove himself, I'll give him another chance if he ever wants to do something else.
Yeah.
But for my standings right now, from what I've seen, cannot stand the guy.
Nope.
Another guy I
Agreed.
can't stand, and I know he's from the mole, and I know a lot of people like him, is Will. I could not stand Will. Every time
Yeah.
he looked into the camera, I looked away.
Well, I tell you what, then if you go back and watch them all, you're gonna like him even less because Will was my like public enemy number one from the
Wasn't he
start
the
of the mole
winner?
to the beginning. Yeah, see, you already know that though, so that kind of ruins it. I thought he was the mole
Yeah.
the whole I mean, I was convinced it is Will. I like me and Elena fought about it all the time because she just didn't believe me. She was right. I was not. I hated him. I actually liked him better on Perfect Match. So if you hated him on there, you definitely will hate him if you go back and watch them all.
I couldn't stand him. I feel like he did everything he possibly could to stay on that show.
That's true.
And he didn't care who he had to talk to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just cringe.
That is, I think, an interesting, like, because if you notice the people that came from the circle and the people that came from the mole, which are strategic game shows,
yes,
versus the ones that came from these reality dating shows,
yeah,
I do think their approach to how they played was a little different.
I do too. I think they had that in their mind of we came here to win.
And according to Nick, they really had no what. Because I mean, like I said, I'm a little obsessed. So I watched so many of his lives on TikTok and Instagram.
Same.
According to him, like they had no idea what this show was they were going on until they were there and the rules were explained to them by Nick Lachey.
See, that doesn't make any sense to me because what if you don't want to find love? What if you don't want to settle down?
I don't know.
Then you're just there to mess with people, or
maybe they just had a general idea, like this is like a dating show, but like I don't know. Like I feel like it was very. It sounds like it was marketed to where it was very strategic, and no one knew what was happening. Because if you notice, like they all kind of like seemed. I mean, I think that shock was genuine because like they didn't know what was going on at all.
Yeah. It makes sense to me because the perfect match is kind of a both. You have to be strategic while you're playing the game if you want to win. But to me, when any of these shows put a grand prize of money into something, it's not going to be a success because everybody's going to fake it to get the money.
Well, what's funny about this is there was no grand prize. Like other than they got a honeymoon trip to somewhere, there was no prize money involved.
But they had got stuff.
You know what I mean, though. But like, I don't think I've ever seen a reality show where I mean, Love is Blind. Clearly, you're trying to get your find. So
yeah,
I think that's where it was confusing. Like, because in my head, I'm thinking more along the lines of like a Too Hot to Handle or like a Love Island type scenario, which I know Love Island's not Netflix, but still, it's my obsession. So like, that's where my head is on this perfect match. And then there was nothing. They got nothing for it. Just kind of interesting. They got a trip that I don't even think Georgia and Dom ended up taking because she was already with Harry Jossie by the time she got back. So
that's a whole nother
they're happy together. So I mean, I guess that's great. And Harry's one of my favorite too hot to handle like contestants ever.
Yeah. See, I don't know him. I haven't gotten there yet, so I don't know him. All I
Oh,
know
he's on the one with Francesca.
is he? Maybe I don't know.
Because he's with Francesca the whole time, basically.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. No, I know him now. I know
he's
which one you're talking
sweet.
about. He's
Well,
the
yeah,
he's the more kind of not goofy looking one because he's pretty handsome.
yeah.
He's
He
he's from the UK, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
I know who she's with now though.
yeah,
Okay, I'm actually okay with that. I like him.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would be cool if he wants to come. Like if they end up splitting up and we do another season, I would love to see him
Yeah.
on Perfect Match. But you know,
Well, hopefully they stay together
yeah.
because I don't want Georgia to come back.
No, Georgia's can't come back. I think like if we were like to allow some people to come back, I think it would have to be just certain ones that I feel like just really didn't get a chance to do anything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Like
feel like
Aunt Sophie.
she
I
was used.
like she was
Mhm.
over and over. Like
Yeah.
not just once. And I liked her.
Yeah, I did too.
Even though she was from that also confused me when they started bringing the girls in from the real estate shows. I was like, wait, what the
See, I've never watched Selling Sunset, and so I was like, "Wait, that's what I was." I was like, "Is that a reality? Like, is that a dating?" I was so confused on
I
what
was
is this
too.
show.
I was too. I was like, wait, I thought that was like a reality. Like they're
But
selling
granted,
houses. Like what in the world?
I mean, like we said, the mole, like the circle can be a little bit because like you flirt with people, but like the mole has no romance whatsoever. So I mean, I guess it's the same type situation that I mean,
But to me, it's
having
still
those
like
contestants.
it's like the mole's still like a contest,
Yeah, true.
and it's more like a game. And selling
Yeah,
sunset's not. It's just
just yeah.
selling houses, and it's just I don't know. It was kind of weird. And I know she wasn't the only one from selling
No.
sunset. So it did confuse me that they were pulling people from selling
Mhm,
sunset.
mhm.
But I liked Anne Sophie.
Yeah,
I
I would
liked
be cool
her.
with her.
I liked and I think this is kind of a lot of people won't agree with me. I kind of liked Zay.
I did not.
See, I didn't know, was he like one of my top favorites? Like I
Mhm.
loved him. No.
I didn't get to know him very well, and I didn't watch the ultimatum, so I kind of have feel nothing for him.
See,
So I wouldn't be
I
opposed to it.
wanted to see more
Mhm.
from him. And maybe I would have hated him. I don't know, but I didn't. I feel like with Anne Sophie, Diamond, Zay, and even Calvin,
Diamond, for
yeah,
sure, Diamond, because I feel like she had a rough go on her Love Is Blind as
she did.
well. So
Yeah, she
like,
did.
I really love Diamond.
I wouldn't like. I want those people to
Hmm. Yeah.
come back and guys. Maybe I will hate them. I don't know, but I would at
Yeah.
least like to get a chance to know. And I did
Hmm.
watch the ultimatum halfway,
Hmm.
and I do know Zay from it, but also at the same time, he's pretty quiet.
Yeah. You need big personalities
And I
for it
think
to
that's
work.
just
Yeah.
why maybe even if he was on a show, we'd still not barely know him.
Yeah. It's possible. It's possible.
I also need to go finish watching the ultimatum because that was actually a really good show. I
I
didn't
think I'd
finish it
like
though.
that. Yeah. I need to try that one too.
It's
I think
good.
I think Inez is one that I liked her. I feel like yes, she had several chances here, but I don't know if anyone's intentions were correct. I think she was truly there to find someone to fall in love with.
She my head just kept getting
Mhm.
spun around by the way she was just switching
Yeah.
guys though. I don't know. That
Well, I now I
I
don't
like
know if
her
this is
though.
true. I
I
don't
just
know if
don't
this
like
is
her in a
true or not.
relationship.
This would be another reason that Nick would never date me. Okay. But I did hear this. Oh, not anymore though. I'm good. I quit smoking. I heard,
Did
and I
you?
don't remember where I heard it. Yeah. I had to when I had that mouth work done, like I just couldn't do it, and so I just gave it up. So yeah, I quit
Good job.
smoking.
Congratulations.
Still vaping a tiny, tiny bit, but like not much. So, anyways, um, but I think from what I heard, there was a rumor that he didn't want to be with her even after they matched up because she was a smoker. Well, she's French. I mean, like from what I know, like
Go watch Love Island.
Europeans, like, yeah, of course, granted, later seasons, I think they hide their smoking. They don't let them smoke out on the camera. But in Europe, I think it is a whole lot more common to be a smoker than it is here in America, which
Now,
it's
yeah.
fine for him. I mean, if that's something that's, I mean, if that's something you're against, that's fine. But like,
That's your own personal
telling me
opinion.
you're telling me you
Okay.
didn't know that before you matched with her?
Yeah.
Like,
Did she
I don't know.
hide it? Like,
Yeah, I doubt it. She doesn't strike me as a type, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true. It's one of those like TikToks that I saw. Like, I didn't hear him say it, I didn't hear her say it, but I heard people talking about it. So don't know if it's true or not. But I'd love to see her. I don't know. I would be okay with like, but there are so many other people that I want to see.
who are some of
join
the
the
ones you want to
season.
see?
Well, let's see. I made a list, so I wouldn't forget them. Okay. So, which I don't know if let's see, some of these people I don't know if they're still together or if they have someone. The only person I did want to see, the girl that Chase hooked up with on Too Hot to Handle, but turns out she married a guy from Love Island, so that wouldn't work out because I really liked her. So I tried to look up some of these. I'm like, okay, if you're married, obviously I'm not going to suggest you.
Why
You
apparently
haven't.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I said, Harry Jossie, if you and Georgia happen to not work out, I think he would be a great addition to the show because he's charming and really cute. I think the girls would all love him. But the other like Too Hot to Handles, so you didn't watch last season, but last season there was two. There was Nick and her name was Jawa Hair. Okay, they should have won. To be honest, they got robbed, and it was kind of ridiculous that they didn't win. But both of them were really sweet, and she's kind of like spicy and kind of like would definitely bring the drama. He's kind of that stoner surfer boy type, which I think would also just be kind of funny on there. So I
Yeah,
would
that
like to
would.
see that.
I'd like that.
Yeah. From season 1, David, cute little like I don't remember if he was English or if he might have even been like Scottish. I don't know. He was adorable, and I think he deserved. I'd love to see him. He was cute. And then there was a Kayla and Seb. I can't remember which season they were on, but they were a couple together. I don't know if they're still together. If they're not, either one of them would be really great. The Circle, I want Xanthi and Brett both. I want them both there together because I honestly thought they should be together, but they're not.
Oh, yeah. I
Aunt
kept
Jen.
wanting. I swear, how they had to have been hooking up in there, right?
I mean,
Like between you and I, they
they're
had to have
both
been
like
hooking
really
up.
attractive single people. So like,
And like when she'd get excited, she would jump up on him
jump
and he would
on
like
him.
hold her by the bottom. And I know that's
He literally never wore a shirt, like ever.
like, come on, there had to be something. And I know it's probably not doesn't amount to anything.
Yeah.
But I think they kept each other company in there.
Yeah. So I think
Prove
it would
me
be
wrong.
fun if they both came on there together and like maybe found love with each other somehow through this, right?
That one would be fun. I'd totally be down for them.
I would love that. Who else? The Mole, which I know we talked about like The Mole and how it wasn't a dating show or whatever, but there's a lot of good looking people on there.
Of course.
So like I feel like there's potential. Now granted, like I said, I don't follow any of these people, so they may or may not be married or involved. If they are, good for them, I guess. We'll just scratch them off the list, but I don't know this, so I'm just gonna say who, if they weren't married, who had one on the show. There's a girl, Avery, who was great. She would be awesome. Pranav is super, super, super cute.
Oh, she is cute.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking them up so I
yeah.
can.
So look up Pranav. You're gonna love it. It's like
okay. Avery is adorable.
Yes.
Pranav.
And she's very strategic and fun. So
oh, he's cute.
yes. And he's like really smart. So like I really liked him. Jacob is a firefighter.
We like firefighters.
I'm pretty sure there's like a fireman calendar that I saw a picture of. So if you can find that one, he might be married though. It is possible. I think he might be, but that's okay. If he's not, bring it on. But he's from like, I feel like he's like from Ohio or somewhere like small townish. Yeah.
He's from Ohio.
Is he married? He's probably married. He's too good to not be married, I think.
He's been in 2 movies.
That I didn't know.
He was in Crookery, and he was in Something Old, Something New.
Who knew?
Obviously, just little tiny roles, but
he's handsome.
I can't tell if he's married or not, but he's very handsome.
Mm-hmm. And then there was Samara and Sandy, both who if I remember correctly, neither one of them lasted very long, but they were beautiful young girls. So I'm like, they'd be perfect on here.
Yeah, I can't wait until we get season 2.
Yeah. And there's like a million Love is Blind people I want.
Oh my
I
gosh.
absolutely want
Here we
like
go.
Ayana and Jarrett both, they split up. So one of them, either one I'm fine with, would be fine
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Cole, I think Cole is my number one. Cole Barnett must be on the show because he deserves better than he got on his season.
Yes.
I need him there.
Yes. I
Although
am 100% behind you on that one.
he's got that same sort of personality that our Nick does. So I don't know if the girls will bite, but I hope, like, he's adorable. So hopefully they've all seen the whole cuties fiasco and will feel sorry for him and are willing to like give him a chance. I don't know. Mallory, I think would be a good one from Love is Blind. I honestly saw Sal for a little bit, but I think he's involved with someone. So I think that's a no. But do you remember Mallory? Which would be interesting if we brought Jarrett and Mallory, because
I've got to look up her face, but I know her name.
Because she was the one that Jarrett almost proposed to, but then he chose Ayana instead. So now that him and Ayana didn't work out, wouldn't it be interesting to see him and Mallory put back in each other's circle?
Mallory. Yes, I loved her.
I did too. So I think that would be interesting. And this is I love Paul. Well, you know what? These are from the new season. Okay.
Paul, really?
I did love Paul. I don't care. I loved Marshall. I think Marshall, although I'm pretty sure I saw on Instagram he's got a girl now, but we're gonna pretend that didn't happen because I really wanted to see Marshall.
Marshall was the one with Jackie, right?
Mm-hmm. And see, you have not seen the reunion yet, Amanda, and like,
holy moly, that pissed me off.
Yeah,
so like
so much.
So pissed me off so 10,000 times more than Irina did. And I know Irina is like our villain of the season.
No,
not
Jackie.
Anymore since Jackie.
No, Jackie.
I wanted to punch in the face. Oh, nobody's ever treated me this good. And then she like, I'm sorry, Maureen.
You gotta say that again.
Oh no.
You got heated over here.
I got heated. Okay. Yeah,
the
bleep
audience,
that out because I don't know if I can get that passionate again because
the audience
I'm already
will
mad.
Be amazed because Amanda never speaks like this. So like I think it'll be great.
Just mention Jackie's name and it'll make me fly off the handles.
But Marshall, okay, so here's the thing with Marshall too.
When he put up with her way too long?
Well, Marshall, there is like a reality universe crossover. Marshall's cousin is Justin Glaze, who was on The Bachelorette, who also, in my opinion, got like a crappy deal because someone should have swooped him up. Okay. I know he's not a Netflix person. Let's bring Marshall on next season and let's bring his cousin, even though he's not a Netflix person, because Amanda, look up Justin Glaze because I guarantee you've seen his memes of his like eyes. He's got those same like things that like Marshall does. Like it, I guarantee you've seen the meme, even though you've never seen The Bachelorette.
Justin what?
Glaze, like glazed donut.
He's handsome.
I love Justin. He's funny, but like his facial expressions was just like Marshall, that it got turned into a bunch of memes after his season.
Yeah.
He was like actually on, yes. I'm pretty sure he was on Katie Thurston's season, which is the girl that Nick spent New Year's Eve with, but then that didn't work out. Yep. And one more from me on who I want on the show. And this might be unpopular. I want Micah. I know she's a villain, but I think she could be our Francesca. She could be the villain.
I don't know. I don't like her.
I don't like her either, but I think we have to have some people that we don't like to bring the drama. What if she brings her friend with her? The one that really does. Can you imagine? Shelby. I was like, what is her name? Shelby. That's my daughter's name. I should remember what her name was.
I want to like know the truth behind that.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that friend.
Oh.
I was talking about her friend. That one, they touch on that a little bit at the reunion. Yeah, I don't think
I gotta finish it.
Yeah, I think it was nothing actually. On his part, anyways. Her friends are shady, so I don't know. But you know what? I was
gonna say they all seemed very fake.
This is a perfect segue because here we're talking about all of this. So unless Amanda, do you have any suggestions of anyone else that you would like to see on Perfect Match season 2? I've already casted the whole show, so I don't know that we need anybody else, but
Honestly, I didn't think of that many, but I thought about Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Paul? Zach, no, which one married Bliss?
Zach married Bliss.
Zach married Bliss. Okay, I always get them too confused.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, they kind of look alike.
They kind of look alike, actually. Yes.
By the way, before we really move on, Zach and Bliss, I gasped when they said "I do" to each other.
Yes.
Am I the only one who did not think that was going to work?
Um.
Are they still together? Do we know?
Yes.
I mean, they're still together at the reunion, but
yeah, you got to watch. They are like, come back to me after you've watched the reunion. They are like madly in love. They'll never. I don't think they'll. I will be shocked if they ever split up. Let's talk about our couples. Let's talk about like each one. You want to? We can start with. Let's start with Zach and Bliss. This one, like this was almost like a fairy tale coming true for me, because as I watched it, you and I were chatting. When I first saw him with Irina, I have to admit, I was like, "Oh, I love this! Like, I want this."
I did too. At the beginning,
and then,
I really did.
Then I saw him with Bliss, and I'm like, I think you and I had this conversation. I'm like, no, wait, I want him with Bliss. Like, what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
And then, of course, Irina shows her true colors and who she actually is, and I was like, never mind. Like,
yeah, we all wanted him to choose Bliss, and then he chose Irina. And my jaw was on the floor. I was like, no. Like, I literally think I would, no.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, even after him and Irina like split and all that happened, I honestly wasn't sure if Bliss would take him back. I am so glad that she did, because
I was surprised that she did, and not for the fact that she didn't like him or love him or whatever, for the fact that my feelings would be so hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if I, as a person, and obviously she is a bigger person than me. Mm-hmm. I don't think me as a person could have been like, oh, okay, since I was your second choice, let's go. Like, that's just how I would feel as a person.
No, I completely agree. I think I would too. And I'm glad that she didn't let her pride get in the way of that, because I honestly, I believe too, he didn't choose her. And this is what he says. And I believe him, because I think Zach is probably one of the most honest people we've ever seen on reality TV. I mean, I don't think he can be anything else.
I know.
I think he was so afraid that because of his past that he wouldn't fit into her family and her life, and that scared him.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, the only reason he chose Irina over her. And so I'm just so glad that I can't wait for you to watch the reunion, because like the way they are so perfectly in sync, you'll see them defend.
I like his big beard though.
Yes. I love it. They even color coordinated with each other. They looked adorable together.
They did.
They are on it in the way that they speak to Irina, because they kind of go at her with her fake apologies that she tries to come off with.
She does not try to apologize.
Oh, she absolutely does. Which I'm sure, don't get me wrong, I'm sure after she watched it back, she feels like crap. But I don't think that I think she still meant everything she did. She just feels like crap, like, oh my God, I look terrible right now.
Yeah.
And they both kind of like, she is a queen, and I love her, because she basically tells her like, we accept your apology, but kind of like, but we don't actually believe that you're sorry. I mean, like, they flat out basically tell her like, we don't actually believe you, but that's fine, and we're ready to move on from this.
Yeah. I really actually did like Irina at like the introductions part, where she's telling us about her life and her family and her background and everything. Like, I really did. I was like, this is going to be my girl for this season.
Yeah, same.
And then I kept trying to like make excuses for the way she was acting.
Yeah.
But man, like, we didn't even get out of the pods before I couldn't stand her.
The moment that I couldn't, like, it's one thing to be snarky and whatever. The moment I could not make any more excuses is when her and Micah were laughing at, is it Alexa or Alexis? Whichever one it was that Paul had to break up with. They were laughing at her crying. And I'm like, that's officially too far. Like,
that's the same part that I went,
like, that can't even be, like, you can't even blame that on bad editing or anything like that. Like, that's what you were doing, and that was too much.
It was so insensitive, just so insensitive. And knowing that you're being filmed.
Exactly.
You know you're being filmed. You're just that is, I think you and I had already talked about this, but that is the part that I knew Irina wasn't ever gonna
Yeah.
be okay in my eyes.
No, there's no way. She
I
was.
cannot stand. And I think there's
I mean,
girls are mean. Let's just put it out there. Girls are very,
They
very
can be
mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know guys have the reputation of being the mean ones. Women can go more cutthroat at each
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
sadly,
No, absolutely.
than any men can.
These girls, in my opinion, made like we talked about how much we hated Bartice last season.
Yeah.
Like, I hated them more than I hated him.
Oh, yes.
At least Irina, like Micah's probably tied with him, but Irina, because Micah had moments, she had moments for me where she was redeemable.
Same. And I never hated Micah like I did Irina.
Yeah.
Like there was never that. A lot of times Micah would come up and be like, ugh. Like
Micah she was catty and she was kind of like snotty, but she wasn't downright mean like Irina was, I don't think.
it just put a bad taste in my mouth when this is my best friend. I'm like, well, you got really bad taste in best friends.
Well, then your best friend tried to hit on your fiance after like Zach dumped her. So I mean, like, gross.
That one, man.
Yeah.
That one. My mouth was just like to the floor. I was like, are you serious?
What is it with all of Micah's friends? Like, I don't know. Because I mean, like you were talking about that moment that we saw with her bridesmaid at the wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but I have to believe in my heart that it was him bumping and he kind of like
it was kind of like
hand placement was just a bad hand placement.
Yeah.
Because that would have shocked me. I don't think that's who Paul is. But the friend kind of made a fun little face afterwards, so that kind of was like, what is that face about?
I've watched the little clip more times than I would like to admit.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to believe, because as much as I really don't like Micah, I liked Paul.
Oh, same.
And but so it just broke my heart.
Her friends, though, we saw in her friend Shelby how terrible she was. This girl might just be kind of terrible too, and that she was just making a face like, you kind of touched my butt. You know what I mean? Like, even if it was an accident, I could just see, I don't know. Her friends were not good people.
No.
So it's possible. But Micah and Paul, they were the couple for me that confused me the most throughout the season. Because at first I didn't want him to pick her. I was like, please don't. I was really rooting for, is it Alexa or Alexis? I can't remember. I was rooting for the other girl. Okay. Yeah, Alexis from last season. Okay, so Alexis. I was rooting for her. But then as the season went on, I honestly felt like Micah really does seem to care for him. Like, I see the connection.
Yep. I was wishy-washy a few times.
So by their wedding day, I really wanted them to say yes.
Oh, see, I didn't. I didn't. I was like, please, because even if it's good right now, I could just look at them and say it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. Like they're too
different.
They're just too different. And Paul deserves somebody better than Micah.
And maybe she deserves, I'll even go on to say that, like, with the right guy, because like I said, there were moments when I was beginning to like her. So maybe with the right guy, I could also like Micah.
Yeah, maybe you're right about perfect match.
Friends. I feel like she could be fun on the perfect match, if nothing else.
Yeah, I could see it.
And she's a beautiful girl, so I think people would love
gorgeous.
her, so I don't know. I'm just saying. But I also would love to see Paul on there. So it's like, which one do I want? You can't have them together.
No, I don't think. I think Paul would get destroyed on perfect match.
Probably.
I think he's way too soft.
No, you're probably right.
You have to have some.
He wouldn't survive that. Plus, he likes his witchy women, and nobody said. And I'm pretty sure all these bougie women they would bring on perfect match would just not be. They would not be his people.
Maybe Paul with Francesca.
Oh my God, can you imagine? She's got a girlfriend now, though. So right?
Oh, does she really?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. I didn't know.
She's got a partner. For sure.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't think it's anyone that's like from like the reality universe, because I don't know who they are. And they're really
She
cute
does. No,
together
I've
on
seen
TikTok.
videos. She is with somebody. Yes, I've seen them on TikTok
Sorry,
together.
I don't know what their pronouns are, which is why I'm trying to be, and I want to be respectful.
Yeah, let's
Because
say
I'm
them.
not sure. I'm not sure. But they seem really lovely together. Like actually they seem like a really
They
cute
really do.
couple.
I just
So
when you started talking about it, it clicked. I have seen their videos.
yeah. So all the best for them, you know?
Oh, do we really have to discuss Jackie and Marshall?
We already kind of have a little bit. I mean, there's not even much. What's so funny is I remember when I was watching this, okay, when they were like just before they did the proposals, I have to admit that I actually was like, I like Josh for Jackie better. I was thinking, I kind of hope it's Josh, but it's because I feel like that episode, they like threw Marshall at us without giving us the chance to warm up to him.
Yeah.
Or Jackie, either one. They just threw in this couple real fast. And I'm like, whoa, I don't know you all. I think I even text you. I'm like, I don't care about these people at all. Like, what are we doing with this?
I know.
But I remember thinking Josh seems better suited for her. But then she picked Marshall and I was like, okay. And we got to know Marshall and I realized how wonderful he truly is.
Wasn't he just the best?
He was really the best. And she was an absolute train wreck.
Like, I kept
for no reason. Like her crying in the closet. I still don't know why she cried in the closet. And I watched
goodness,
it.
I thought I was just
I rewound it to watch. I'm like, wait, why is she in the closet?
I did too.
I still to this day don't know why she was in the closet crying.
I thought I missed something further back and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going back any further.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. Now, granted, I was working while I was multitasking, doing other things while I was watching. So like I thought maybe I did miss something, but I still have no idea. Not a clue.
No,
she's just a basket case.
I really don't know the reasoning.
And more power to Josh if he can tame that and handle her. Great.
Yeah.
Hope you live happily ever after. But
I didn't like Josh either, so I can't really say anything. I did not like him.
Well, I didn't after. I mean, like I said, in the pods, I thought okay, but then I don't know. I would be fine if I never saw those two on my screen or anywhere ever again.
Which really disappointed me because I really in the first, like in Mexico, I kind of liked Jackie still. I was like, she's got issues that she really needs to work through. I understand.
Yeah.
But I was still rooting for them. And then they got back and he cooked her breakfast and she made such a big deal about nobody's ever treated me like this before. Or like, you know?
Yeah.
And then it was just like, I got punched in the face and my head swiveled around. And then she was like, off with Josh. And I was like, wait, what in the world just happened?
Now they did say that was bad editing as far as like that she did not speak to Josh until after the Marshall thing. I don't know if I believe that that's true. But girl, watch the reunion.
I am
you
today.
Think you hate her now?
Ugh.
She is awful to him.
I'm glad that
and she gets no
he's
hate.
Not with her.
She isn't even because her and Josh aren't even like at the reunion. So, but they get interviewed by like Vanessa. Yeah, Vanessa is so kind and does nothing. Like, doesn't go in at her for anything.
And she's just a bee.
And then they all go off on Marshall. Like, watch it though, Marshall. But that's where all those memes come from. Is his face was like, and even Kwame is making the faces. I'm like, if you confuse Kwame, you know that you've done something. Because that man his face is always just like solid, just like he's lost, doesn't know what's going on anywhere.
It's so just he's a solid Kwame face.
Yeah.
If I never have to look at Jackie's face again, that would be a-okay with me and we can move on. And I hope that Marshall can find somebody to make him happy because I feel like he really, really is a decent guy.
Which I do think I saw today actually on Instagram that he announced he's with someone. I didn't get to read the article and see who it was, if it's for anyone from the show or whatever, but I hope,
as long as he's happy, that's all I care about because he deserves somebody.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
You can just tell that he's a good guy.
I really, absolutely. So, I agree with that. Speaking of Kwame.
This one confused me too, I have to admit.
Yes.
I thought there is no way that man is saying yes at the altar.
Same.
I would have put $1,000 on the line. And I mean, I'm not rich, so I mean that's I wouldn't have. I thought there is no way. There is no way he is saying yes. At the very least, if he says yes, there is no way they are still together by the reunion.
They're so cute together.
They're so good. They are my new Amber and Barnett. I will stand. I will fight for this because I truly never believed Amber and Barnett would make it either.
Same.
And
that
here
was
we
a
are,
joke to me. I was like, no way.
5 years down the road or however long it's been. I mean, like,
And they're still very happily together.
they're happy. I think Chelsea and Kwame are the same.
I do too. I think
They
that they
work.
will. I think they will make it long term.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think we had a lot of good relationships come out of this season, which we usually don't. We got 3.
We got 3 marriages.
Three marriages,
and
they
they're
both
still together. At least at the reunion.
To me, the top freaking couple was Tiffany and Brett.
Absolutely.
They never wavered.
Never. The only
they
Brett
did
had
that once, but
Brett had one moment when he got real bougie about his suit. And I thought I
even laughed during that though.
Well,
like that wasn't serious.
I did, but at this they at first the way they were, and I'm sure it was editing. Okay.
Yes.
I was like, okay, wait, Tiffany, this might be a little bit of a red flag. Like he's getting really upset right now. Like I was getting a little nervous. You know what I'm saying?
I was too, but
he was just
changed.
having a groomzilla moment. That's okay. We've all been there.
He obviously cares very much about his looks and his clothes, and that is a-okay.
And he looks good. So
if he can afford to dress himself like that, if he wants to, it is none of my business. And I think he looks good. So have at it.
I mean, I think it's fine, so I mean, but no, I remember thinking that moment like, oh, but I had no doubt like those two were getting married.
No, yeah, there was.
I think I even fast forwarded some because I was like, okay, like we know how this one's ending. Like
I did too.
Sorry, I was ready to see the other ones, I was like,
I honestly fast forward through a lot of the wedding prep. And that's because it's usually just them like gabbing and talking. And I get so anxious. I'm like, I need to know who said yes and no. Move along.
And they also almost always like edit it so that like everyone is having doubts.
Yeah.
But you know what? Except for Brett and Tiffany, I think there was neither one of them had any doubts, even during none of their families had any doubts. Like they were all just like, we're here for a wedding. It's happening today.
Oh yeah. It's because they were so just naturally drawn together. It was just like not a question. That was the one couple who I was like, here, let's go watch a wedding.
Yes. Like it was the only one that I was absolutely certain on.
I was about 95% sure that Kwame and Chelsea would go through with it.
I wasn't.
I was. Now, Zach and Bliss, you should have heard me going, he's gonna say no.
See, I'm like,
he's gonna say no.
That was the other one.
I thought she was gonna say no.
No, I was convinced they were good on that one. Like, I don't know. Like, just
I didn't.
No, Amanda, when they danced, I Hope You Dance. Look, that song is old as can be, but I have to admit, I teared up.
No, I mean, it was sweet,
beautiful. Like, I don't know. I thought it was really nice.
But also, they didn't go on the trip together, and they had the shortest amount of times together than anybody else did. And I really thought that was going to kind of play in a factor. I didn't really know if they were going to be like, we're breaking up, we're done. I more
thought they might just postpone. It was
going to be like, we want to stay together, but we're not going to get married today, because that's happened before on past seasons, and that's what I thought was going to happen with them.
I can understand.
So when they both said yes, I was floored. I was like, okay, but I mean, obviously they're happy and it's working for them, and that's all we can wish for, I guess.
And I think their speeches to each other, in my opinion, were the sweet. Like, I remember thinking these were really sweet.
Yeah,
these are really nice because you also, for me, both of them are kind of awkward personalities, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean they're introverted, and like you could tell that this isn't like something they do well being in front of everyone, which is funny because he's a lawyer, but still, I think they're both just a little bit introverted.
Yeah.
So hearing them, I'm sure they were maybe even more uncomfortable up there than some of the other ones were. I mean, like, Tiffany doesn't strike me as a person who's uncomfortable being in front of a crowd of people in any kind of way. Like, but Bliss and Zach are. So I don't know. Their speeches to each other, I think, were really meaningful.
Yeah.
And they had been through so much, I mean, even though they were there the shortest amount of time, they had already overcome some major stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine any of our three couples not making it. I really think
Not now. Not now. I think they're all pretty
yeah.
suited for each other.
In the past I've had doubts, and my doubts have usually been correct. Because what other than season 1, we have no marriages that have lasted, correct? Because season 2, Danielle and Nick are not together. I guess we've still got some from season 3. Oh God, we've still got some season 3 ones. I forget about Colleen and Matt. Matt's never gonna let Colleen leave him, so that's probably one for the rest of their
none of the
lives.
season 2 couples are together anymore.
Yeah.
Because Nick and Danielle got divorced.
Yeah.
So that was the only one.
So I
Ayana
guess
and Jarrett got divorced around the same time as they did too.
Yeah. And those were the only two that got married that time, right? I think so.
I think so. They were both.
Yeah.
And then season 3.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like I said, we have Colleen and Matt, but I don't think, I mean, they'll make it, but not because I think they need to make it. I think he's going to hold her hostage or whatever for the
I'm
rest of her
trying to
life.
get to Alexa and Brendan. I think they're still together.
I think they'll make it too. I think they're well suited for each other.
They were both. I mean, it was touch and go for a little bit with them, in my opinion, but I think they will.
I think they'll last.
I do too.
Who else do we have? Do we have anybody else from?
I'm trying to
Cole
think.
and Cinema
Because Raven and SK broke up.
Then that would have been it, right? Who was the 5th couple? There's always 5.
Colleen and Matt. They're still together.
Yeah, they'll, like I said, they'll be
I
together.
think they'll be. There were another couple that didn't really waver on. I knew they were gonna.
I think they're toxic as can be, but I think they're gonna make it.
From the very beginning, I just figured they were gonna stay together. The rest of them have all broken up.
Okay.
We have Bart, of course, Bartiste and Nancy. Which
that's who I was forgetting.
Such a toxic couple.
Here, I had blocked him out of my brain. I was like, who else? Bartiste.
Cole and Zaynab, which again, so toxic together.
Mm-hmm. And then SK shocked us all. So.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Raven.
Can we send Raven to the perfect match?
I think she would be perfect on the perfect match.
Yes. I'd love
she would, because she is
she'd bring
so
the
pretty.
spice.
She is
beautiful.
spicy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Definitely Raven. We need to write that down and email it in.
Yeah. Send them our list. This is who you need to get Netflix.
This is our list. Please
we
make this happen. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all for 3. So I mean, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're including season 4 marriages that are still together, we have 6 that have. I don't think that's that bad.
No, not for
not for a reality show nowadays.
Well, and you meet, get engaged without seeing each other, and then get married in 3 weeks. That's impressive. Yeah. We don't know when Love is Blind season 5 is coming out. I know it's been renewed and already filmed, I think, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what it's. I don't think we have any a release date yet. Okay, so they haven't said when they were releasing season 5, but I think we kind of have. So season 1 was released February of 2020. Season 2 was released February of 2022. And then season 3 was released October of 2022. I think that was because of COVID years. Probably. They kind of released 2 in 1 year.
But we've already filmed season 5. So maybe by October we'll have the newest season.
Yeah. And then season 4 was March of 2023. So
maybe this fall?
Or maybe they might make us wait till next year. I don't know.
Maybe. It just seems kind of crazy if they've already filmed it. But
to wait. Yeah, that's not fair to any of the couples.
Right? Because they can't even do anything. Yeah, maybe they'll get it out there. But I guess that's it for this episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come check out our Facebook group that we have for all of our Netflix shows, movies, anything Netflix originals. It is called Netflix Originals, Netflix Family Fan Club. Also make sure you are liking, sharing, subscribing this podcast. We are trying our best. We want to get more interviews. We want to get more fun stuff. The best way to do that is have our viewership up. So the more help we get from you all, the better chances of making that happen for us. Check out our other socials and all of that. Next week, we should be back to our regularly scheduled episodes. I think both the
I hope
Chicago
so.
shows and Grey's and all of them are back. So that'll be there. But in the meantime, this Sunday, we will still have our Fox show to put out with the 911 and 911 Lone Star. So come back and check that out. And till then, we'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Loving our content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to share our podcast with your family and friends. We want to continue the conversation with you. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok under Fandom Family Chats, or one of our ever-growing Facebook groups by searching Family Fan Club. We've also launched a website, Family Fan Club 2021 at Wixsite.com. You can email us there and keep checking it for announcements and merch coming soon. And of course, be sure to tune in every week for new episodes discussing all your favorite shows.